Hello and welcome to another Whiteboard Wednesday training. I'm Isaiah Henkel, a cheeky scientist, and today we're talking about the top 5 employers for PhDs in biotech and biopharmaceutical, the biotech and biopharmaceutical industries. This is based on data from a large-scale survey done by Fortune magazine. Now, there is one caveat to this, okay? Only the largest companies were polled because they had enough employees and easy enough access to those employees to poll them. I do want to make it clear that if you're looking for a job in industry, especially as a PhD, don't just consider the top companies that everybody has heard of, okay? You want to also consider small, quote-unquote small to mid-sized companies. Now, in industry, small is not the same as it is in academia, right? A small academic lab could have 5 people, could have 2 people, could have 1 person really. But in industry, small means 100 to 1,000 employees. Mid-size means 1,000 to several thousand employees, okay? And large, of course, are the large companies like some of the companies we're going to talk about that have tens of thousands of employees, sometimes more. Okay, so that's important to realize. If you're looking for a job, do not exclude small and mid-sized companies. Look for those companies. Google them just by searching in your location, small biotech companies, right? In your location, mid-sized pharmaceutical companies. All right, so what are the top 5 companies? And these are the top 5 companies for PhDs to work for, as in the PhD gets a job and they're happy. I can tell you in our Cheeky Scientist Association, we have over 4,000 members now, and those who get jobs, they go one of 2 directions. They're in a hurry to get a job, and they just get a job based on the job title or salary or the brand of the company, as in how big the name is of the company. And sometimes they realize later that that company is not aligned with their values. It's not aligned with their purpose. Now, this survey showed that PhDs who are happy, and people in general who are happy that get jobs get jobs at these companies, they're happy because their values are aligned with the company's values, right? Their purpose, right, is aligned with the company's purpose. So they're on board with what the company's trying to achieve, with the company culture as a whole. Okay, those 2 things came up over and over again in the survey: purpose, values. This is why in our Cheeky Scientist Association we have something called the transition plan that helps you figure out what your professional values are. What is your professional purpose? And it helps you build a professional lifestyle that you want and then fit a company to that lifestyle, not the other way around, right? Don't join a company, become a team member, and then try to fit your lifestyle and your value to that company. That's going to be a disaster. All right, so what are the top 5 companies? Number 1, and I don't think these are in any particular order, these are just the top 5 overall as reported by this Fortune survey. Number 1 is Horizon Pharmaceuticals. 97% of employees reported that they were very happy with the company, specifically with the company's communication. Now, it might seem that something like communication at the company isn't enough to make it a great place to work for, one of the best places for PhDs to work for, but it does, right? Over and over again, there's lots of studies that show what will make you happy working at a company is transparency, right? How transparent is that company in terms of what their corporate strategies are, what your role is. If you go into a company, there's no transparency, no communication, it feels like everybody's your boss, you don't know what you're supposed to do, you don't know what the company's goals are, you don't feel like you're able to communicate your needs or your desires to the company, you're going to be miserable. So when you see 97% of the employees at Horizon Pharmaceuticals are happy with the communication, it's no wonder that it's one of the best places to work for. Number 2, Genetech. Right? If you are, especially if you're in the life sciences, if you're a STEM PhD, you know the name Genetech. Genetech is really well known because they're kind of an outlier in industry. For the most part, when it comes to your publications in academia, they don't matter to most of the companies you're going to be applying to. They simply don't matter. There are a select few companies, though, like Genetech, where publications do matter. This isn't a good or bad thing. It just means that Genetech's run almost as an extension of academia. Like if you blurred a typical industry company with a typical academic institution, put them together, right? It would the child of that would be Genetech. Why are people happy at Genetech? 90%, a little bit more than 90%, say that there's great challenges at Genetech, right? In other words, they're doing very innovative things that are challenging and they enjoy the work. And for PhDs, this matters. One of our core needs as a PhD is to do innovative work. In fact, to get a PhD, you can't just master a field, you have to push the field forward. So believe it or not, whether you know it or not, you need that challenge. Number 3, and I love this company, Regeneron Pharmaceuticals. 93% of their employees report excellent communication, but 93% also report excellent support from their bosses. They have an incredible leadership team at Regeneron. And what I love about Regeneron is Regeneron got to where it was because it had a PhD as its CEO for a long time. And that PhD just did an incredible job building up that company. If you look at their stock, the company's doing very well. In our Cheeky Scientist Association, we actually have an individual who is an associate director at Regeneron. It's been an amazing experience watching her climb in that company and to hire more associates into that company. Regeneron is a great company to work for. Highly recommend checking it out. If you haven't, they're based in New York. Number 4, AbbVie. 93% report that they love the culture and atmosphere at AbbVie. They say they have fun. They like the way that things are set up. And culture is not just what you wear to work, but can you show up when you want to as long as you get your work done, or do you have to be there at a certain time? What are the internal processes, the internal power structures? This is culture. It's a much bigger thing than you might be thinking. At AbbVie, they love the culture. Same thing with Illumina. 95% report loving the culture. I love Illumina too. It's a great company. They're doing very innovative things. I recommend checking them out too if you haven't heard of Illumina. Also, 97% of the employees say that they're proud to be a team member at Illumina. That really stuck out at me. When you work for a company to have that kind of that feeling like you like belonging to the company, like being known as a team member at that company, it's a big thing. So check out these 5 companies, but don't stop there. Look at other companies, small companies, mid-sized companies. Make sure you're finding the company that is a good fit for you. Don't just try to fit yourself into any company, right? Don't try to just change who you are. Try to first define what you want professionally, what your professional values are, your professional purpose is, what professional lifestyle you want, and then fit a company to that. If you want to learn more about this, specifically how to find out about companies that are hiring right now and how to find the right company and the right position for you, go to phdsgethired.com. Okay? phdsgethired.com. That's going to take you to a page where you can put in your email address and your name, and you're going to be sent all of our free materials, all of our free ebooks, our free webinars that we have coming up on how to craft your resume, your LinkedIn profile, and we'll show you how to find the right company and right position that's a good fit for you. If you have any questions on this, please ask them in a comment on this post, depending on where you're seeing it. And I'll see you next week with another Whiteboard Wednesday training video.